Hey, hello, it's Barry here. Okay, today I'm going to talk about my top surgery process. And because it was a long process, let me tell you. But for anyone out there who wants to get, oh, my nose itches. For anyone out there who wants to get that done or is getting ready for it or something, I hope my experience will be helpful to you. I think it will be. And also, I know it's not right for everyone, but a lot of people experience extreme dysphoria, like in my case, and it's literally life-saving to people. But it's not for everyone, of course. It's a very personal choice for your own body, for your own life. So let's get into it. I first thought about getting top surgery a couple years ago, maybe 2.5, 3 years ago, and I started seeing people in the media, I guess, or online that had gotten that done, and I was like, oh, I want to do that. But of course, it seemed like such a huge endeavor, and I didn't know where to start. And it seemed like, okay, that's probably very expensive, which it is. So I put that thought on the back burner. Time passes, and then about a year and a half ago, I really decided I want to move forward with this. So I knew from my research that you need, if you're going to go through insurance, you need a letter from like a gender affirming therapist to basically advocate on your behalf to say you're a good candidate for this surgery, that maybe you experienced dysphoria or you've been identifying as this gender for a number of years and you've lived this life experience, because it is a big life choice. So I understand why they would require that, to make sure you have like the mental capacity to make these big decisions. But anyway, it was kind of annoying. I decided to, about a year and a half ago, get a trans therapist, because prior to that, I had a queer therapist, but she didn't understand, like, she was cis and she was great, but didn't understand the intricacies of being trans. I Googled trans competent therapist in Los Angeles, and you could insert any city there. But I came across some, emailed, whatever. I found the right one I felt like was a good match. We started therapy, and time passes, and I get through a lot of stuff in therapy, but I'm not even talking about the top surgery, because I kind of put that to the side while dealing with other issues, because we all have issues all the time, and it just felt like such a huge thing that I wasn't actually ready to pursue it. So fast forward to a year later, finally decide I'm gonna do it. And I'm saving up. I have money building up in my savings. But then I realized, okay, I have my therapist. He's awesome. Now I have to figure out the insurance part. Because if you're gonna pay out of pocket, I'm sure it's a lot easier. I think you can even get surgery dates a lot quicker. But if you're going through insurance, which I did, and it's advisable if you can do that, because you can get a large part of it covered. So I had Medi-Cal, which is, state funded medical insurance. So it's kind of like the bottom of the barrel insurance. I mean, it's awesome that I had that. It's better than nothing for sure. And if you do have that insurance, apparently you can get partial coverage of top surgery in Los Angeles, but I live in Ventura County and it does not cover top surgery. I think probably because it's a more conservative area than Los Angeles in general. Anyway, I hope that changes in the near future. But I realized I needed to get a better insurance. So I did a bunch of research. There is a number of insurances that do cover gender affirming surgeries, a ton of them. But I realized the one that was best for me, and this is not sponsored, mind you, it's not at all sponsored. So the one that I felt was right for me was Blue Shield of California, and I got a PPO, which is a good insurance to have because with a PPO you can essentially pick your doctor. I don't know much about insurance, so this is not an insurance video per se. I got that Blue Shield PPO and then was able to get 80% of it covered. So 80% of it was like $8,000, and I paid $2,000 something for the surgery. Then there was other costs later. The other costs to consider are, travel expenses if you're traveling somewhere else, wherever you're gonna stay, if you have to pay for that, food, and also later there was this $600 charge because they had to do like a biopsy on the breast tissue. And anyway, insurance, that's what we're talking about. Sometimes I get a little sidetracked. You gotta rein me in. Then I had to find the right place, the right surgery center. I went on Lex. I said, does anyone have any recommendations for top surgeries centers in LA or California? And I got a lot of answers, which was really awesome. The center that was most advised was the Krieger Institute in Thousand Oaks. And funny enough, I live in Thousand Oaks. So I was like, what? Anyway, it's a plastic surgery center that I messaged them and I had a consultation set up and I went in and it was good. It was, it was fine. It was, the place was super nice. It was really quick. But it was a plastic surgery center. And I was like, is this the place I want to get this done? But another highly recommended place was in San Francisco. This Dr. Mosser, the surgeon, Dr. Mosser, who has this place called the Gender Confirmation Center, which is in San Francisco. And so he has a whole staff of people specifically dedicated to doing gender affirming surgeries. So that's what the place is all about. And then in discussion with my therapist, I realized I think I want to actually go to the Gender Confirmation Center because their whole staff is thoroughly trained to support gender affirming processes. And that's the environment I really want to be in. It's going at it in a different way than a plastic surgery center who's over here doing like liposuction for like a 50-year-old woman, which is fine, no judgment. But I wanted to support the Gender Confirmation Center. And it just seemed like such a cool facility. I was like, yeah, damn. Yeah! So I contacted them and there's like multiple surgeons on staff. They went through my insurance. This process took about, I think I would say 6 weeks or a month to get the insurance to come back and say they'll cover it. I got this letter in the mail. I was so happy. And then I was like, okay, now we set the date. And they were backed up as far as scheduling appointments. So then it took about another month. And I was able to schedule the surgery, which was only a couple weeks out. Once you go through the whole insurance, the process isn't that long. But there was a bunch of paperwork, of course, and you have to take pictures of your chest. I had a bunch of phone calls with them, kind of like interviews, a lot of question and answering. Then it was set, and I was excited. The next step was figuring out the logistics. You basically need a strong support system. You need a caretaker to help you in the first couple weeks. Some people's recovery processes are a lot more intense than others. I had watched so many videos, so I knew what to expect. Like, I knew my mobility would be like dinosaur arms. I knew a lot about the recovery process. You know how it's hard to ask for help sometimes? The hardest thing for me was to ask someone to come with me and be my caretaker, honestly. It seems a little silly, like that's what loved ones are for, right? To be there in your time of need. Oh my God, I'm like tearing up. But it was hard because I like to do everything myself. You know, I'm a very independent person and it's hard for me to ask for help. But finally I asked my brother and I told him how much it would mean to me. I was gonna cover all the expenses of the Airbnb and stuff like that and make it, you know, comfortable for him. So he agreed to come with me and then he was happy to support. And I was so thankful for that. So make sure before you start this process, even, I would say, have your support system set up, whether it be like if you don't have a family member, which not everyone has, of course, if you have like a good friend who will help take care of you, because the recovery process can be hard, you know? You need a lot of support, like grabbing stuff from shelves, maybe like fluffing your pillow or getting you food. And I'll do a different video about the recovery because that would be helpful. So then we drove up because we figured it would be better to drive as opposed to flying. Like it was going to be more comfortable. Then I did the surgery and my recovery was a lot easier than a lot of people's. And I wanted to get back to work really quickly. And I made some mistakes in that process, which I will also cover in another video. But yeah, hopefully this is helpful. Just wanted to give like a little summary of that. I'm so happy I did it. It was the best decision I've ever made. Probably. I know that's a sweeping statement, but I'm so happy I did it. Hopefully this is helpful to someone. Like, subscribe, and follow me on TikTok too. I do a lot of gender videos. You can see all my videos that were made directly after I got it and before. Anyway, love you so much. Bye.